I'm gonna go talk to the old lady and tell her to go get herself killed. I mean, send her over to Yosefka's clinic. Because that old lady is a crabby bitch and I hate her.
The attire of the retired hunter Jura. This worn wolf cap has its trademarks. Has his trademarks.
Seriously, if you've played this game, you
Jura's-
probably hate this lady as much as I do.
Probably. Jura is known through his contact with the Powder Kings, which is the Covenant,
Ooh, cool.
the heretics of the workshop. He's said to have been both uncommonly kind and dreadfully foolish. Jura felt defeated by the state of Old Yarnum and has renounced his hunter's vows. So he hunts hunters that kill beasts. Because he's trying to spite the old workshop hunters.
Oh. Aren't all of those guys dead?
Technically?
Isn't there only like 2 really old guys with no eyes and in wheelchairs now?
Technically? These are like massive, massive plot things I'm not telling you.
Okay, good.
That you'll be like, what?
But, so yeah, people tear out their eyes because insight makes them see crazy shit. And people go in wheelchairs because the beast strength makes them all crippled.
Alright. So, in Dark Souls, basically the game is about man overcoming great obstacles. The David and Goliath thing, right?
Yeah?
Now, Bloodborne is an example of man's thirst for knowledge and power. I've told you this, but I haven't told the audience this.
Yeah, go on.
So, the thirst for power is represented by the beastly scourge. Man's lust for power drives him mad with bloodlust and stuff. And people lose their legs and whatever, or transform into horrible beasts. And then man's thirst for knowledge, to make contact with the Great Ones and learn eldritch stuff, drives them crazy, and they tear out their eyes, because they see some shit.
Yeah, the
I
insight
see
makes
some
you
shit.
see things.
I have an item in my inventory called the Bloodshot Eyeball. I shall read it because we're in intermission right now.
Oh, we are?
Display. An exquisite eyeball removed quickly after death, or perhaps even before, used to unlock the seal on the old labyrinth. So people use their eyes, like they'll tear them out and use them for rituals to make contact with stuff.
Oh, wait, no,
There's also
she's not
the
telling me she can go to the clinic.
You might have to be able to invite people to the chapel first.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and get that done, because I'm right on the verge of being able to do that.
And I love this game so much more than Dark Souls lore-wise, because everything makes sense without having to think too hard about it.
Yeah, okay. And aside from that, these guys actually work better with Lovecraftian themes than Lovecraft did. Like, Miyazaki is a better writer than he is, even.
The Sinner Bell is an object of dark thoughts. Bring it to become the enemy of a
Still
hunter.
lingering about. What's wrong?
Wow, that's
No
like
matter.
me in a nutshell there.
Without fear in our hearts,
Yeah.
we live
Ugh.
Oh, I love that freaking crow mask she's got on. Oh, now I have the shake-off cape.
What are you? Enough? A
The
hunter must
the old
hunt.
hunter bone is the thing that gives Gehrman and what's her tits from the DLC the quickening ability. It is said that it was an apprentice of Gehrman, and a particular,
A
and
particular
practitioner
potato.
of the art of quickening.
Okay, now I'm
This
gonna
is
try
most
out my
appropriate for
6-axis.
hunter. Hurrah! Hurrah!
No, do that. Yes, shake-off cape. I don't really have a
you
cape,
wanna
so it
see
doesn't
if
do
he's-
much.
I'm gonna get all the umbilical cords so we can fight the nightmare horror last boss on my world.
Yes, and then I can fight the actual last boss by myself.
So I have a piece of umbilical cord, and it says, used to gain insight, so they say, eyes on the inside.
That's fucked.
Every great one loses its child and then yearns for a surrogate. The third umbilical cord is blah 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 encounter with the pale moon, which beckons the hunters. Something.
But seriously, I actually think that this is better Lovecraftian lore than the Cthulhu stuff.
And also, me reading item descriptions isn't as pointless as it is in Dark Souls because, well, in some Dark Souls stuff it reveals lore, but literally everything in Bloodborne helps with everything.
Yeah,
Because
they really
it's
have
not
been
like,
getting better at
oh,
things.
it's not like, oh, this dagger comes from the land of a place you're never gonna see or hear about ever again. Everything in this game relates to Yharnam and the Hunters, unlike Dark Souls where it's like, hey, have you ever heard of Katarina? Here's a helmet.
How about the kingdom of Stab McStab, where they make daggers, and that is the only time you will hear about them, is when you're reading dagger descriptions.
Yeah, exactly. Everything...
Curved
every
daggers are not
description is
used very much in Stab McStab, because all of the sorcerers, I mean stabbing people there, are all snooty.
Small pebbles found throughout Yharnam can be thrown at foes. Quite thrilling. I love pebbles.
And-
I love tossing pebbles at people I invade.
And some item descriptions are actually really funny, like that one. I think my favorite item description in any game, though, is rubbish. Useless garbage. Why would you even carry this around? But yeah, I do prefer the lore in this because it's less, stupid.
I have some surgical long gloves. Do you want some surgical long gloves?
Could you drop surgical long gloves for me? Is that a thing you can do?
No.
Oh. Well then no, I don't want them, since you can't give them to me.
Oh, I have all of Gascoigne's stuff. Hunter attire worn by Father Gascoigne. The dingy scarf is a holy shawl and the symbol of the healing church from which Gascoigne would eventually part ways.
Okay, hold on,
Father
just one
of the
thing.
Ladies
I love how you're
Church.
saying Gascon's name wrong, just because I was saying it wrong on purpose.
Everybody says Gascoigne.
Who?
But I've
That's
seen
not
it's
how you
either
pronounce it, it's
everybody's-
Gascon.
So either everybody's wrong, or you're insane.
Tyler, you know my last name. I can say French stuff.
Anyway, yeah, so he was a cleric.
Oh, yeah.
And so it is said later in the game that the hunters become the worst beasts of all,
Yeah?
and you see examples of people who are parts of churches becoming terrible monstrosities. Father Gascoigne turns into a beast, the cleric beast. Why do you think it has cleric preceding the beast?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Vicar Amelia. She's sitting there praying and then she turns into a thing.
Oh, that was the scariest goddamn boss intro I've ever seen. That was horrible. Oh my god, that was
Exactly.
great.
So, even so, that's like a metaphor for even the most righteous and good of people can become monsters if they whatever.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. And also, it's just really cool that clerics turn into bigger monsters.
Oh,
I was
the
actually
Carol
mildly
ruins-
disappointed by Gascoigne's third form because it wasn't the most horrifying thing ever. But as the second boss, that makes sense.
There's these things called the Carol runes that you get later in the game to equip yourself. They're like rings,
Yeah?
and they all mean something. So, for example, there's Communion, Lake, Moon, and Beast.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
So where do
four
you
that I
equip
have
those,
it.
by the way? Because I found a lot of them.
You can't equip them until you beat the Old Witches of Henler,
Oh, okay.
which is a boss in the forest.
Yeah, I've seen it. And actually, it was one of the easier bosses I've fought.
Yeah. Unless you get swarmed.
Well, yeah.
I think I've read everything that's interesting.
Yay, Blood Gem Workshop tool! The Bergenworth spider hides all manners of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably.
One of my favorite items to use is the Blood Beast pellet.
Yeah?
So you can... So with my daggers, it's really good. So while I'm shredding into
Shh,
an enemy,
cutscene.
tearing them apart... teleport to the cathedral.
Okay, I just got to the cathedral. And now there's a terrifying creepy creep.
Oh, he's great. I love him. He actually doesn't do anything bad ever, even though he looks
Very
suspicious.
sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good.
Oh, Bobby,
Good.
when you summon me,
I've
you'll
been
start to
waiting for
see
one
all
of
the
your
crazy
ilk.
stuff that I do, because I have a lot of
Everyone
insight.
all locked up inside.
No!
Waiting for
I
him
don't
to
want
end.
to see crazy.
I can't
Always does. Always has.
I
you
can't
know.
see the church monster
Since
just
forever.
yet, but I'm almost there.
Seriously, this game is scary. It's scary.
Even
Some people
some
think Dark
folk
Souls
hiding
is scary.
inside
This
it,
game
don't
is
they?
scary.
Screams of women
The
folk,
beast blood pellet
the
thing,
stench
right?
of
Yeah.
blood,
It's one of my favorite
the
items for
snarls of
PvP,
beasts.
because
None of
as you
them's too
deal
uncommon
damage,
now.
you start dealing more damage.
Yeah.
Ripping apart the flesh of one's enemy and being rained upon by their splattering blood invigorates one's sense of beasthood, feeding strength and a eutrophic feeling of... Yeah.
Yeah, and so that makes you turn into a beast if you get enough hits.
You don't actually turn into a monster, but it's a metaphor, again, for being a monster.
So it just makes you stronger, it doesn't actually do anything?
No.
Aww.
But there's this weapon called the Beast Claw, which literally gives you a beast hand. And then you have the beasthood effect from the blood pellets, but permanently, while you have that equipped.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Um,
I want my guy to turn into a cool monster.